Welcome to the Act Now Education Podcast, where military service members, veterans, and spouses get real knowledge, tools, and access to achieve their next mission in life. No fluff, just real talk, real resources. Let's get to work.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let's see, 150 plus of us today. Feels so quiet without the music. All right. Well, you are here for our weekly rundown as we get started. We're going to have Jay give us some quick announcements, and then we'll talk about some great events coming up. But before we get started, we'd always like to hear who are the returners who are here for the fourth or fifth times. There's always golden nuggets dropping. And also, who's here for the first time? Let me see. Let's see who's out there. Don't know, I think. Let's see.
Brian Soletti, I'm here. I'm a first timer.
First timer, welcome. Where are you coming in from?
Virginia.
Virginia, welcome. Okay. Wow, look how many first timers we got. Robert, I see you. Repeat offender. Loyal returner, Lori Bell. Armando, 10 plus. Armando, what are all the golden nuggets you keep getting? You keep coming back for more. That is testimony to see every week there could be something new that we're dropping. Adam, here again because career compass application won't work. So I'm here again. Okay, we'll see if we can get Jay to touch base on that. Jacob, welcome. First time from Pittsburgh. Let's see. Every Saturday for a while, says Tasha. I love it. Yes, this is how you level up. See what opportunities there for you. You're opening that door and peering in and see what are the goodies we're giving out. So roughly about, let's see, 55% first-timers, 28% repeat offenders, and 17% loyal attendee with over 10 plus. So for the first times out there, this is not a one and done. We have some base, education that we provide, but there's always new opportunities. Jay is always dropping some type of certification, training, event coming up. So we keep it fresh for the majority of times that you show up. So I definitely recommend whenever you have a free moment on a Saturday after this, you show up. You definitely want to be in the community and definitely following us on LinkedIn as well. So our cross section today is about 23% active duty, 12% spouse, 54% veteran, 3% veteran spouse, and then some reservists. So let me ask you, for the active duty out there, how many of you are getting ready to transition in less than 6 months? Put a 1 in the chat for me. Less than 6 months. Oh, goodness. The time is coming near. And how are you all feeling? Happy, nervous, excited, overwhelmed? Put it with an emoji. Let me see. How are you feeling? For those of you that are leaving in less than 6 months, how are you feeling? Paul says nervous, overwhelmed. These are all, pretty normal feelings, right? It's okay to be overwhelmed. It's okay to be nervous, but we don't want to be that way for the entire time. We want to have some insights of what you should be doing. And this is where you're here at Act Now. Sonia says all of the above. Sonia, you're killing it. So I know, you feel like that, but in the background, you got control of your chaos. I know that. Benjamin, nervous. All right, stressed. I panicked, I stressed, then I handled it. So understand where the level of overwhelm and stress is coming from, and then we can work backwards. What is it that you need to make you be prepared at the end of that 6 months? All right, my last question before I punt you over to Jay. For the active duty spouse, what are you here looking for? Put it in the chat for me. What are you looking for? Are you here to support that transitioning veteran, transitioning active duty, I should say? Are you here looking to get your foot in the door for new opportunity for yourself? For all the spouses, Sheila says upskilling, Matt says certification, and Angelica certs, looking at that SkillBridge money rolling in. Building my network, says Matt. Career change, says Lydia. Okay, so for all of you, we definitely have a couple things brewing in the background. But before I share those insights, let me punch you over to our fearless leader, Jay, who's all the way out in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hey,
Yeah, yeah. This is a example and truth to be told, what it looks like when you deploy and there's no internet. I'm actually using dial-up internet, so my internet connection is not stable. However, we're going to keep it going, folks. And so I wanted to put it out that if you do put in an application for a Career Compass, I will get to it, just not while I'm in the middle of nowhere, because I just don't have the ability to create your accounts out here. Because, like I said, it takes me probably 10 minutes to bring up a page, which is ridiculous in this day and age. Nonetheless, I'm on the call because I want to be able to support. I see a lot of new folks on the one, and this is, I know, for those who are joining us, Act Now Education is focused on providing you value and providing you opportunities. We got a lot in store for you. Though I may not be able to be on camera, like I said, we are working in the back end trying to make some stuff happen. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Like I said, I will be on call through voice, but if you guys have any questions, definitely this is going to be a jam-packed session to talk about what we have going on, what's available, what things we want you to tap into, and how we're giving back to the community this month. This is going to be a crazy year. I'm just saying, so far, this has been so far crazy. This is going to be a crazy year with everything that we got going on. But I'll pass it back over to Nicole. Thank you all for joining. Let's go.
All right. So you see, we don't make excuses, right? Regardless of where we are, we're going to show up for you. So the next question is, are you going to show up for yourself? And that's a key thing with us here at Act Now. We're giving you the resources. We're helping you learn how to fish. We're giving you the fish in some cases. But the key thing is it's a dual-edged sword. You got to help yourself, and we're going to help you there. We're helping you bring you to the finish line. So as we get started, I have a variety of things. Let's start first off with Career Compass. When you get access to Career Compass, please, please, please use it. Oftentimes I get DMs saying, gosh, it's been 6 months since I found a job, or my network, I'm just not having anybody. And I log into their Career Compass account and I see that there is no activity. This is your gold mine. For all of you who have Career Compass and you haven't logged in a bit, I urge you this weekend, spend some time there. We have seen people use it and we have seen the results. So for example, let's see if I can bring this up. Here is, I'll just do a quick view of it. So for example, when I go into an account, I am looking to see, do you have your resumes in there? Are you building your contacts? Is your LinkedIn optimized? In this particular case, there is nothing in there. So I want you all to make sure that you're spending time navigating. This is, somebody's name in here, but if you reach out and you say, Nicole, I am having trouble, this is where I come first to see how active you're in here, because you can get your resume optimized, you can get your LinkedIn optimized, you can do a lot of things here to help you. Consider this like your trampoline. So don't sleep on this if you have it, please, okay? And like Jay said, give them a little bit for those people who are new and need access to it. But you have also opportunity to reach out to any of us, myself, potentially Nigel, some other folks out there to give you guidance as needed. But the fact is, just follow the prompts there, upload your resume, see what changes that needs to be made, and then utilize it in that format. So when it comes to your Career Compass, again, for those of you who are waiting for it, just be patient with Jay on that. Questions on Career Compass before I move on?
And good afternoon, everyone. This is Anwar. For some of you guys who know me from before, previous sessions and everything like that. But just to reiterate, the reason why it takes a little bit of time for Jay and the team to give you access to Career Compass, because we have to validate everyone's access, ensure that they are affiliated with the U.S. military, because over the past year plus that we've been able to use this system, we need to ensure that everybody who's using it are with the military and not somebody else from a different country, a different environment who just needs access to a platform. It's on Career Flow. If you have your own account on Career Flow through another organization or you're paying for it, that's cool. If not, they give it to us for free to give out to the military community. Okay, so we need to do some due diligence on us, on our part here. So we appreciate everybody's patience getting on, but once you get on, you'll have plenty of resources in there. Can show you a little bit or during a different call. You're able to explore it on your own. Also, build your resume, apply for job. There's almost, as of last count last week, we were just showing that, Jay and the team connected with like different databases. There's almost 12 million jobs posted on there as of last week. All right. So again, it's all good for some people who actually also wanted to connect with people. All right. I posted a link, and if you look up on the chat, Kevin Dessler, one of our awesome guys in here too, he posted that link here too. It's to Jay Salter. We posted a link in there on LinkedIn itself. Why on LinkedIn? All right. All you have to do is reply to people, and don't just reply with your own LinkedIn account. If you're on LinkedIn, you don't need to share your LinkedIn on LinkedIn. All right. You just can come in there, give a little 1-2 sentence, your elevator pitch type of deal on LinkedIn, and connect with folks. Right now, there's more than 600 comments in there, other veterans and spouses. And if they post on there, it's because they want to connect with you. So they're more likely to respond to your connect request, right? And that's how you build your connections, okay? And your network. At least get you past the 500 mark, because that's what shows on your LinkedIn. Okay, it just shows 500 plus. Nobody knows if you have 501 connections or if you have 20,000. Okay, but at least it shows you're not a newbie. And then start leveraging your LinkedIn, okay, by posting, commenting, interacting with people, building your social brand. Okay, and so to that effect, also especially for military spouses here on the call, before we move on to something else, Nicole, if you don't mind, I'd like to also, before we talk about a couple of other things here, like our summit and things like that, just want to bring Katie from Vertforce to address mainly the military spouses looking for remote work that can travel with you as you're still supporting your significant other, or if you're a veteran, or you're a veteran spouse, or you hang the uniform and now you're just trying to get to gardening and shopping and getting your significant other to start to go golfing so he can leave the house and stop telling you what time is dinner. Okay, so Katie, over to you.
Thank you very much. I'm Katie. I'm Katie Castillo, the community expert at Vertforce. And I saw a lot of transitioning service members and spouses on the chat there. I was watching that all come in, all of you looking for jobs. And that's what we do. So if you don't know who Vertforce is, we are military spouse owned and operated. And we help all of you find remote work primarily, but we also do occasionally have hybrid roles or in-person roles. But our goal is to help all of you find meaningful careers. So that's what we do. I'm going to drop some links in the chat for you because I feel like that's always helpful when I start that way. But first and foremost, like I said, we're here to help you find jobs. So we are a recruitment and staffing firm. So we have our own job board. It's a private job board, so you do have to create an account to see all of the roles on there. Make sure you do make an account and sign in. Otherwise, you'll only see a few of the previewed jobs. And all of those roles are vetted, military-friendly roles. Location flexible is like what we go for. So whether that means remote or hybrid or a role that you can take, with you when you move or wherever you decide to stay. So make sure you check in there. They do update frequently. We have roles that will go up and we'll get, 1,500 applications in a week, and then we close it so that we can handle those 1,500 applications and move on. So just keep an eye on that board. We do send employer announcements and job announcements once you sign up for the job board as well. You'll also see on that job board at the top, there's like from your main dashboard, you'll see a calendar for upcoming events. And we also have like podcasts and learning resources on that website as well. So I put some of those links in the chat too. But we have a couple upcoming events I wanted to share. We have a VA loan boot camp on June 24th. This event is basically like centered around the idea of like, wouldn't it be really great to have a safe and trusted space to ask questions about your VA loan, about real estate investing as a military person to VA loan and military experts, and get answers that are based on your situation, your goals, your timeline, things like that. So that is on June 24th. We're giving away Starbucks gift cards and Stanley tumblers to live attendees, not all, but you have a chance to win. And they're really fun events. It's a great way to learn more, even if you don't know specifically what questions you have to ask. We're like 2 years out from buying another house, and I still find it very useful and very helpful to learn more information. And I put on there, if you are interested in Intuit is very interested in you. They love to hire military spouses and veterans. And whether you have tax experience or not, there is an opportunity for you at Intuit. They have a program called Intuit Academy to basically teach you all the things you need to know to become a tax preparer at Intuit. We have an event coming up, TBD. We are in talks right now, finalizing the date, but it looks like it should be probably in July, if not also August. So we don't have a date right now, so I don't have a link for you. If you are interested in more information about Intuit or when we kick off the boot camp, which is what we do to help you through the Intuit Academy programs, it's a Vertforce exclusive event that we do to help you all the way through all of the programs to get you hired and give you direct connections with the recruiters at Intuit. If you're interested, you can email me, katie@vertforce.us. I will be giving you guys updates there. And as soon as we have a finalized date and landing pages and event pages to have you guys RSVP, I will email you guys that. So go ahead and email me. I put it on there. And I think thank you, Anwar, for sharing that again. But it's katie@vertforce.us. I do spell my name differently. So just that's why I put it in there, so that you can check on that. And so that's going to be great. We'll be doing a couple events with them over the next year or so. We always do. They're one of our like long-term partners. And we do have an event coming up in August, date TBD as well. We are finalizing that information with Imagine 360, which is a remote healthcare company. But they do have obviously healthcare roles, but they have other roles too, customer service, tech roles, all that sort of stuff. So keep an eye on the job board. And we'll have that information out probably in July, which is, I just realized, next month because now it's June. That just occurred to me. I see a couple people asking for my email address, so I will drop that in the chat for you guys. It's Katie, KAITI @vertforce.us. So you can email me if you're interested in the Intuit information. And as soon as we have event dates and signups for you, I will send that over. And then I put a couple links in there for you to our CEO and founder, Kimber Hill. You can follow her on LinkedIn. She shares a lot of helpful information. She's also totally happy to connect with you. And if you DM her what you're looking for, especially, she is our like go-getter for finding new jobs. That's one of the things that she does as our CEO. So you can DM her, let her know who you are, and what you're looking for, and she'll be happy to help you and see what she can do. And that is our job board link as well on there, jobs.vertforce.us. Make sure you sign up for an account, otherwise you won't see all the jobs. We do have a YouTube where we share career tips, career advice, employer information, employer events, things like that. So highly recommend, if you're looking for more information, check that out. I go live, or somebody from the Vertforce team goes live every Tuesday on that YouTube account, as well as the Vertforce LinkedIn, if LinkedIn decides to let us go live there. Last week it did not, so I'm sorry if any of you were there waiting for me. Or on our Vertforce private group, we go live every week to talk about open positions that are new on the job board that week. We talk about events, and we also talk about like tips, job searching tips, advice, resources, things like that. So you can find us there on that YouTube. And I think that's pretty much everything. If any of you need any help or have any questions, I'll be hanging out in the chat for a little while to answer any questions. But first and foremost, we're here to help you. So if you need help and you're looking for a job and you need resources or advice, feel free to reach out, come join our communities, and we'll be happy to help you. So thanks for having me and have a great weekend, guys.
Thanks so much, Katie. Can you drop the YouTube channel in the chat as well, please?
Yeah, I'll share all those links again.
Awesome. All right, thanks for that. So thus far, you know exactly where you need to go, especially when you're looking for opportunities. Let me tell you this, when you have, you're dropping your LinkedIn there, and I'm checking out some of you guys' profile, just make sure if you're open to work in your summary that somebody is aware. Oftentimes, again, I get, hey, Nicole, I'm looking for a job, and that's it. I don't know, or even I'm looking for a job in IT. IT is this big, cybersecurity is this big. So just be mindful when you're sending out messages or you're looking for something on your journey and transitioning, finding the job, trying to understand, what is the career out there for me? Give as many specifics there, especially if you're using LinkedIn as your informational platform. All right.
Or don't say, hey, I'm looking for an internship. I'm looking for SkillBridge. I mean, what's your MOS? What are you trying to do? Please share some of this information. Yesterday, I just got another DM saying, I'm looking for a cybersecurity internship. Like, first of all, who are you? When are you transitioning? What are you doing? What's your skills? What state are you looking to be at? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're not trying to insult anyone's intelligence. We're talking from experience, guys, especially if you're transitioning. I retired just 3 years ago. Nicole just transitioned. Annibal is here on the call too. He's over in Germany. He's retired Army. Bunch of other people are like here are willing to help, especially that link that Kevin Dessler just posted. All right, Kevin just retired as well. Kevin posted a link in there again for that LinkedIn post on Jay Salter's page where you can connect. And sometimes you just can go in there and see, hey, I'm just retiring. Want to connect? No, please don't. You hear about first impressions, right? Don't waste that first impression to make an impression.
I like that.
One thing I would say with that, Anwar and Nicole, also, I mean,
That is definitely the internet.
It's dialing up, Dave.
I'm getting to work, putting stuff out, being able to identify what opportunities I want to look into and the types of connections and networks that I want to build. And so don't wait until you are retired to be like, let me figure out what LinkedIn is all about. That is far too late. So my advice.
Awesome. All right. So let me ask all of you, regardless of where you're at in your journey, transitioning, this is a new career, veteran, you've kind of taken a breath and you're ready to get back out there. Put in the chat for me, what are you working towards right now? Let me know the exact role that you're seeking. Or maybe it's your finances you're trying to get in order. You're trying to get a degree. Tell me exactly what you're working on. Think about the next 3 to 6 months. IT project management, certificate, job, promotion. Give me a little bit more. I want to see these specifics. Just got laid off, so you're looking for a new opportunity. I'm sorry to hear that. This is a good understanding too for all of you. No job is ever guaranteed except your military one potentially. When you come into the civilian sector, federal, private, nonprofit, I always want you to have at least 1/4 of your brain thinking, what should I be doing in case? Just like you have your insurance plan, you want to risk assess. The possibility of me being laid off is slim because I'm in the federal sector. But should I be laid off, what would be my plan? Do I have my 6 months of living expenses? Is my last degree since 1979? Am I still relevant? Do I need to keep going? And in today's world, we see the importance of making sure your education, your certificates, your certifications are all up to date. And I'll share the difference in a second. Then your network, as Jay said. We don't want to wait until you need the network and you don't have it. You could be cushioning your job for the last 10 years, but nothing is guaranteed except what? Your taxes and death. So I want you all regardless of where you are in your career, you're starting, you're in the mid, you're the end, these are the main things: upskilling your education, your network, and then planning for the rainy day. What is it? Me personally, I consider myself an octopus. I have an arm in healthcare, in HR, in project management, and business. God forbid something happens to me, I get laid off, then I can pivot into something. If I absolutely hate people and I don't want to do this anymore, I leave healthcare and I go into something else. If I don't want to deal with corporate, I leave that and I go into business. Not saying that you have to set your life up similar to me, but I want you to have a backup plan. Just in case, what if something were to happen? What is your fallback? It doesn't need to be very active, but something for all of you to consider, okay? So that in the case of you needing to transition now, when I left corporate 3 years ago, the 24 hours after I said, hey guys, I put in my notice, I'm available, who wants it? Within 24 hours, I was having offers coming in from my network. And I was intentional about making sure my network is warm. I spend at least a couple hours a week on LinkedIn reaching out to people. Hey, how are you going? Just touching base. To be honest, I schedule texts as well on a Sunday evening. That way, when I reach out, when I need something from Anwar, Anwar is not like, well, I haven't heard from you in ages. Now you want something from me? So it seems like a lot, but even if it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes a week, touch base with a couple key people, because you never know when you're going to need that network. Chelsea says HR, you're speaking my love language. What exactly in HR you're looking for, Chelsea? Threat intelligence, cybersecurity, definitely, of course, we have some partners that we're working with. So make sure I have access to your resume if you're actively looking. I'll drop my email there in a second. Let's see. Sean says business intelligence. Okay, HR background. So that's a good opportunity there. HR is a wide open field currently. You just need to make sure that resume, and of course, if you have certifications, are well intact. Trying to get a degree, a tech job, 100% network opportunity, UX design, upskilling. Well, this is great. I'm appreciative of all of you putting in that there, because sometimes amongst us, we have people that just not sure what I want to be when I grow up. I'm probably in that category too. I'm all about learning and experimenting, and it's okay. You can see what people are doing. This is the opportunity for you to network and ask questions. What are you doing when you transition? Are you doing something completely different? Are you jumping into, the same field? This way you get an understanding of people's why. You may need some direction, and this is critical to lean into those informational interviews. Tell me, how was your transition? I transitioned, oh goodness, I don't know, 19 plus years ago. So my transition was horrible. I knew nothing. Absolutely nothing. I figured out my way in this world, but now you don't have to do that. You can now have the highway versus the stony path. Reach out to folks in our community. Hey, I see that you have a project management background. How was your transition? Search our community to see those IT certifications. A lot of people are using Western Governors University. I tutor students for that to help move through. There's a plethora of resources in the community. Same thing with project management. So you're definitely not alone. It may take a little bit of wading through to get the information, but when you got somebody in your corner, you'd be able to get to that faster. And I'll share where you can get a mentor now. So based on all of this that you're telling me, where you're stuck, Angelica, I can see maybe you're trying to get your finances in order. I'm looking to use this to obtain certs. So tell me, where are all of you stuck? You have a good understanding of where you're going. Where do you need our help? Resume strength, okay. Need help with the networking. I want to change careers. Got to save all of this chat here so I can come back to all of you. Where are you stuck? Getting the certificates. Adelina, I'll come to your question in a second. Finding a job. getting a certificate. What type of certificate, David? Put it in the chat for me. Narrowing your focus. You got all of this skill, maybe you got all of this experience. What do you want to do? Sean, you knew exactly where I was going to. So, using a mentor. You don't need to hustle anymore. You don't need to be Googling hours. You don't need to be sitting in the background, butterflies in your stomach. You're stressed, you're aggravated, you're frustrated. You're watching month after month go by. You're getting closer to your ETS date, or your bank account is draining a little bit more as you're transitioning. That retirement check hasn't kicked in. Your disability check hasn't kicked in yet. So all of these things could make us very nervous, frustrated, and in some cases, worse, depressed. Regardless if you are an O3, an E3, whatever it is, how many years of experience, it is not worth doing this on your own. All of you have the opportunity not to stay stuck. You need to have a mentor in your corner, a board of advisors. At any one point, you can be able to pick up the phone and call someone, text someone, or schedule a meeting and say, can you walk me through this? I can't see the trees through the fog. Or maybe I'm looking to get into HR. I did personnel support in the military. Or maybe I'm looking to get cybersecurity, but I know nothing of, I'm just getting started. A mentor is going to give you the guidance that you need. Some people feel like, gosh, that imposter syndrome starts kicking in because I have 20 years, I should know how to do this stuff. Not necessarily. Regardless of where you are in your journey, Jay has a mentor. You want to have a mentor who's a couple steps ahead of you in your career. This is my preference, couple steps ahead of me in my career. Somebody who is different, who has no understanding of my industry, but can evaluate me as a person. Well, Nicole, every time you call and you show up, you're talking about all of these things that you should be doing. How come you haven't executed? So like an accountability partner. And then somebody who really can keep me accountable for the big dreams that I have. So there is no limit of how many people you need in your career, on your mentorship, professional or personal journey. So in the civilian world, there is no clear chain of command. Somebody is not rolling down instructions telling you what to do, how to do, when to do it. You now have to face decision making. In the chat, how many of you get paralyzed with decision making? Let me see, yes or no. Do you get paralyzed with decision making? All the time. So it's a 50-50. Sometimes it depends on what the decision is. It's like, are you able to make a decision and move on? Or do you vacillate? Do you get butterflies in your stomach? Do you get stunned, paralyzed? Now you will be faced with more decisions. And I'm not meaning to scare you. I'm showing you the reality. What healthcare plan are you going to choose? Where are you going to live? What are you going to wear to work? How are you going to grow your hair, color your hair, cut your hair? What is your career journey? It's not after 3 years, you take an exam, how many days and how many years in rank, what is your education? Now you have to determine what is your next step. Where do you want to work? Who's the type of people you want to work with? You have the opportunity to choose this. Analysis paralysis is real. So now you want somebody to give you opportunity, Miguel, give you that clear plan. Right now, I have about 3 project managers that are being mentored under me, and that's one of the first things. What is your plan? Tell me your values, your philosophies, and let's develop a plan out of that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? A lot of questions. Stop asking me questions. But this is why you want to take it in small bits until it's time to make that decision. Mr. Chris Lombardo, never used to it. Anthony, you're an overanalyzer. So now you can have somebody say, okay, option A, option B, option C. Almost like a weighted rubric. If you value money, then you're going to make the choice of the higher salary job. Forget everything else. Forget if it's overnight. Forget if it's in the middle of nowhere. You're going to Alaska in the oil field in the middle of winter to make that $200,000 job because that is the priority. So Anthony, if you're working with me, that's where we would go. We would peel back the layers of that analysis to get you to make a decision. And when you seek a mentor, you're not asking for a favor. I had one person say, well, gosh, a random stranger is going to be invested in me to help me. Yeah, there got many people out there that want to give back to the community. They want you to be in a better position than they were. I had to scrape and find my way. I found my way, and that's my mission now, to give back and help people, to give you all the knowledge that you need to help make your own way. You got hundreds and thousands of people ready to help hold your hand. Whatever your previous experience was, forget that. Past performance is not a predictor of future performance. You were in the military, you had a civilian help, you had a best friend, they did you wrong. That does not mean you're going to take that experience and
Yeah, hold on. It's
life.
a push button. Hold on. Let me just fix that.
Peter, can you mute, please? So when you think about the people out there who wants to help you, they're plentiful. Don't be shy. Don't be bashful. We're not coming here to critique you in a negative way to beat you down. That imposter syndrome that you feel, oh my gosh, I should know this. I got 5 years. I got certificates. I got rank. I should know this. Forget that nonsense. Just if this is important for you to be successful, that pride, that imposter syndrome, pop that balloon. You see it, you hear it, you feel it. Let's move on. Okay. So this is going to help you navigate that success. You get stronger by standing on the shoulders of giants. There are people who want to elevate you out there. Please, you're not bothering anybody. It doesn't have to be official. It could be one and done. You get what you get and you move on. It could be a long-term relationship. You don't need to figure it out. You come unsure. Well, I don't know. I'm leaving the military in 3 months, or the kids are out of school. I'm ready to start my career. Can you give me some guidance? I have a general idea of where I want to go, but can you ask me some questions to help pull this out? Or maybe you're 3/4 ways done with your plan. The mentor can help you finish that off. So again, don't feel like you need to have your act together before you can get there. So when you're forming your advisory board, I want you to consider a couple things. Who's going to challenge you, stretch you beyond? I got people who really challenge me in my network, people who give me insights to the industry. I'm helping a clinic right now get their accreditation. I lack in that area. Reached out to my network. My goodness, can you help guide me and mentor me through this? I just need a couple questions answered. Yes, 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 I can arrange that for you. The reverse mentor. Maybe it's a person who is helping you unlearn. You think about HR, there's a lot of stuff that is different in military or, the real HR way compared to the civilian way. So maybe they'll give you more insights of how to be successful in your role. And then, of course, from a peer side. So how are you going to find this? I'm going to make it easy for you. Somebody said it there in the chat, Mill Mentor. But you can go on LinkedIn and you can find people. But when you have a dedicated platform, it definitely has helped to see people's profile. You know they're ready, willing to mentor. You don't want to know if they're like available. What is their, are they going to respond? So you definitely can make sure that you utilize the platform. And I'll show you that in a second. Anwar actually just put it in the chat. Very easy to go in. Let me share. And for those of you who want to be a mentor, you don't have to have it figured out yourself, but you got a few years behind somebody else, in front of somebody else. You may know an hour of information more than the other person. So let's look at the platform here for a quick second. So if you want to be a mentor or a mentee, you will come and you will register for either. You connect your LinkedIn account. Again, doesn't have to be all fancy and everything is like 100%. I don't want perfection stunting any of you. You go through this, it's relatively easy to get set up. And then when you're ready, you just log in and you schedule a call and you get a notification. I mentor on Sundays due to my schedule. So people would come in there and, I have at least 2 or 3 calls on a Sunday, some of them 15 minutes, some of them an hour, some of them via email. So nothing to make an excuse of in terms of time or effort. All right, let me come to your questions now. So Mel, either you're interested in being a mentor, I'd love to hear that. Definitely jump on there and you could apply. Rachel, you got the link there now. Risha, sorry, you're open to new roles. And again, you have mentors that can advocate for you. Maybe you find somebody who has a network of somebody who is hiring, or maybe they'll say, well, gosh, you know what? You were thinking of going in program management, but the industry is so saturated. Why don't you look at this area or consider that, giving you those industry insights? And Mr. Lombard is saying that, you need to push your pride away. I'm not looking at how many medals you get, which deployment you have. I am looking to help you with your future self. Not me. I'm speaking on mentors as a whole. So please, any type of negative feelings or emotions, just put it away there. So I hope that I've convinced you to get a mentor. And any questions on that before I tell you about our last couple events happening here?
If I can add something to you, Nicole, just to make sure everybody hears it or at least plugs it in their brain, especially if you're transitioning. Somebody said it, you should not have pride when talking to a mentor, but at least have a little bit of preparation. And no matter what was your rank or how long ago that you joined the military or you left the military or what was your rank when you left the military, please set that aside. Okay. Because I volunteer also with another organization, you might have heard of it too, 4Block. And sometimes we get some of these horror stories. Somebody who got out of the military as an E4, went to work for Microsoft for 15 years, and somebody was trying to talk to him because they want to work at Microsoft. And two of them, one of them was an E8, one of them was an O5. When they found out the guy was prior E4, they're like, no, I'm not going to speak to an E4. What does he know? Well, he knows 15 years of Microsoft that you're trying to join. Okay, for example. So please set that aside. And then also have a little bit of some of the questions or some of the things figured out so you don't spend the first 5-10 minutes of what do you want to do, what are your aspirations. Okay, come with some things prepared. Some of us did that in the military. You would have to do it when you try to join a new unit. Okay, especially as an officer or sometimes as a senior enlisted, right? Don't you try to connect with that sergeant major or some first sergeant out there, trying to grease the skids for you to connect with somebody else, and you talk to the battalion commander and start getting your best foot forward. Again, that's how we should do it in the military. So please, set all these other mind blockers aside, rank, years of service, positions, whether you work in SOF or you were a jump master or you were commanding a wing or a division or a boat or whatever. Okay. So again, we are here to just talk directly, tactfully, compassionately, and realistically. Okay. Hopefully it makes sense for some of you guys. All right.
All right. And then one last thing on that too, Jason mentioned about an E4 who went to have a 10-year Microsoft career. Recently in the community, I posted about a job, I think 3 years experience with 100,000, and somebody doubted that. Don't come with any type of assumptions. I know 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds making high six figures, Don't feel that, your traditional understanding of the world is really what it is. Do your due diligence, reach out, ask, and make sure, of course, we want to make sure every job is legit, but don't feel like something is always too good to be true. You have multiple opportunities. You can look into somebody's background. You can ask about it. You can research the company, but don't be dismissive of something if you feel nervous or negative about it. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is the summit that's coming up, and I want to share the reason why you need to register right now for that summit. So let's take a look at, Anwar, if you can redrop that link for me, potentially. There we go.
The link is in the chat.
Thank you. So we are partnering here with White Feather Investments. Why? Because we recognize that a lot of you aren't house hacking and building your financial legacy, have not used your VA loan despite being in the military, looking to start your side hustle and you just don't know where, or just, planning for the what ifs of the future. For those of you who are returning, you heard my story about 6 weeks ago. My healthy, otherwise mom, we were walking together, collapsed. I ended up having to do CPR. Within 24 hours, she was gone. And that week before, we were in the process of getting her will and everything taken care of. My mom was a healthy, otherwise spunky 64-year-old. Everything is an utter mess at the moment. No will means probate, all this, expensive stuff. I think if I didn't have maybe my grit and my resilience, I would be hiding under a rock right now. And many of you have a lot of assets. You have children, you have your 401k, you got your TSP, and it's out there kind of in limbo. So we're inviting you not only to get some educational information, but also on the financial side. Here, you're going to learn how to build lasting wealth, how to protect yourself from situations. And oh, by the way, the medical bills are coming in, the mortgage is coming in, and everything still needs to get paid until we're done with probate. So to avoid situations, to prepare yourself financially for the future, to leverage what you have and build your wealth. Can you imagine every 2 years, you're using your loan and house hacking, that by the time in 5-10 years time, you got maybe 10-15 homes? This is not for just people who know how to use money. You, all of you have the opportunity to leverage this and build your wealth. So we're making sure that we create a summit that is going to be of value for you. And guess what? It is a free ticket. There is no excuse. If you find yourself in a financial concerning situation and this opportunity was here, then I don't know what to tell you, other than holding your hand and forcing you to be there. If you all are ready to act now and make sure that you can have a better life in 6 months, in 6 years, in 16 years, if you want to build, if you are intrigued in real estate, I came to this country, I saw it on the TV, build your real estate portfolio, and I started doing that. I had no clue of it. I had no clue of what the VA loan means. I had nobody to guide me. Here you have the opportunity. You can have a bunch of different speakers telling you exactly what to do, giving you the secret sauce. You now need to take the recipe and run with it. So in the chat, there is that link. Please, if you want to understand how to crack the code on VA disabilities, how to use AI to generate some income, how to house hack like that E4 who is doing it, how to, again, estate plan so you're not in a situation like me. And the key thing about that is we said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. We were concerned with me. I had my trust and everything set up. Unfortunately, I thought we had at least 20 years from my mom ahead of her. So these are some of the things you shouldn't be putting off. When you transition into civilian world, you're going to have an HSA, an IRA, your FSA, all of these things, your 401k, your 403b, all these things that you can leverage. Understanding how you can use that as retirement vehicles. Did you know that you can use your HSA as a retirement vehicle? I've been doing that for years. So this is the knowledge you need to set you on the right path. And it may feel like, oh my gosh, this is so much, but you eat the elephant one bite at a time. What is it that you want to do in the next couple of years? Is it to build your real estate? Is it to just navigate the civilian world and understand how to leverage all of these financial vehicles? Is it, hey, you know what? I'm getting a disability check. I'm getting my retirement check. I want to try my hand at business, but you just don't know where to start or how to use AI. So all of these here will be available to you. And of course, on the education side, on the job side, giving you that insight again of how to land your dream job. So we'll have a couple panels there. And guess what? We're going to be giving away 100 certifications. So please get your link there, join. I hope to see all of you there, if not at least the majority. This is going to be powerful and very impactful on your life. Thank you for all of you. I see your condolences. Definitely, it was quite the hit. Learning lessons there for sure. But, this is the world we live in, right? So the question is, how is White Feather Investments different from Fidelity or Schwab? So Adelina, if I go to Fidelity or Schwab, I'm coming with the knowledge that I know. So for example, I have a Schwab account. I did not know that I can leverage my 401k, my solo 401k. I don't know which accounts would be best for me given my tax bracket, all of those things. So you go with the intent of just like you're selecting a bank. Oh, I see Wells Fargo giving 0.05%, but I see online Sophia giving me 4%. Well, I know I want more money in my bank account, so I will choose going with Sophia. If I am not aware of how to make this decision, if I am not aware that every bank doesn't offer a 0.05% interest, then I'm not sure who to go to. So Schwab, Fidelity, they're the end providers of that service. What we're doing with White Feather is giving you the education. Then you can act upon that. You can go have an account with Schwab. You can have an account with maybe if there's a speaker that says they provide a service, by all means. So we're giving you the education to help break it down and understand it more in detail for you. Okay. Questions on that? And for those of you who are still on your journey, so for example, I've been on my real estate journey and I look back at my portfolio and I'm like, wow, I did pretty decent for not knowing anything. But if you're looking to level up, now you need people in your corner, you need different education. It's kind of like going from kindergarten, then you go to, middle school, high school, college, etc. This would also be the opportunity to level up based on where you are in your journey. Yep, and there's his LinkedIn that Kevin has just dropped. And we did attend one of their events to see what it is to make sure that, this is coming to you as a curated event. So please make sure, yes, it is free. You have the opportunity to win one of many certifications. I see the SHRM. We're going to be offering SHRM towards maybe the fall session, still looking some scholarships there. You have the SkillBridge opportunity. I'll share that in a second. You have Anwar, who's going to be having some training. You have Chris with PMP. So you have a variety of opportunities coming up for you. We're going to set some dates, but specific to the summit, you have to be in attendance in order to be qualified to get your certification. Okay. All right. My last thing for you is the SkillBridge. Anwar, do you have a link there? If you're in the DNV area, let me find it for you.
Yeah, I just dropped it in chat, the link straight up from the J, and I'll post here the link for where to apply. If you go on our webpage under Act Now Education, if you go under Act Now Education, all you have to do, so this is our webpage right now. All the a lot of the information is in there. Scroll up, SkillBridge Plus. It's for an IT data center cohort. It's going to start on August 25th. And there, if you click on it, this is the link in here where to apply. So if you are a transitioning service member currently located in the DMV area and want to look into a post-career job with a Fortune 500 company in a data center, what they will provide is training inside that data center. And what we also will aim to provide you as well is these certifications, training and paying for the certifications, Network Plus, Server Plus, and Cloud Plus. Okay, so you have to be eligible for SkillBridge, which means that if you are interested, and I think we had about 23% earlier of transition service members here on this call. All right, so that's maybe about like 40, 50 of them, of you guys in here. Okay, please go ahead and apply for it. The deadline to apply is June 21st. June 21st. So you have to be local to the DMV area, or if you are currently stationed in, I don't know, Fort Hood, Texas, or Bremerhaven, Washington, or wherever Bremerhaven is in Navy or anything like that, and you have family in DMV and you're gonna move over to the Virginia area, apply. The relocation will be on you, of course, whatever the military provides you, but that's gonna be a job after that. Okay, so you can share whether you're willing to relocate or not. Okay, so again, this is the link where to apply. Okay, deadline is June 21st. Okay, with a start date of 25 August. And if you need any more information, I dropped the link in the chat in here. So this is where it's going to be an approved SkillBridge. Okay, for transitioning service members, please, if you are a veteran, sorry, we cannot help you. Okay, because SkillBridge is for military transitioning service members. All right. And again, you get some training in the data centers for, because everybody and their mama right now are trying to create their own data center. Okay. Meta, AWS, Azure, Google, once you get that initial training, eventually you can go in there, afterwards you can leave the company and go to another company. And even for some people who envision maybe potentially later on an expat career, some places in the Middle East and overseas are also building their own data centers. Okay. Just last week, I think 2 weeks ago, the UAE, they just announced that they're going to pay for every single citizen in that country $20 for ChatGPT Plus. Everybody will have ChatGPT Plus from the government, and they're talking to, I think, OpenAI to build an AI data center in there. And everybody's building data centers all over. You get a data center, and you get a data center, and you get a data center. And I'm trying to make my best impression of Oprah, but I'm failing. But anyway, go ahead and apply. If you qualify, the link is in there. Okay. And yes. Any questions about this one? So yeah, Timothy, AWS is pouring money into data centers. Azure is doing the same thing. Google is doing the same thing. And the funny part about this, it's not like they're all concentrated in the same states. I mean, Google has some data centers in Dallas, in Iowa, in Columbus, Ohio. I don't know who wants to live in Columbus, Ohio by choice, but if that's, I'm sorry, just trying to joke in here, see, because we don't, it's not a serious podcast. This is not a podcast. This is not FM radio, AM radio. We appreciate all the interaction on the chat. All right. This is y'all session. Okay. So any case, who's going to be, put a 1 in the chat if you're going to be attending the seminar at the end of the month on June 28th. Put a 1 in the chat for me.
All right.
All right.
And there are only 1,500 slots we got there. And each
So
weekend
go ahead.
we have
Yeah.
200 plus people.
All these ones, you should already have your ticket. You should have put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you qualify, are interested in the SkillBridge opportunity. Okay. All right. Cool. Awesome. Benjamin, Gary, John, everybody, if you qualify for SkillBridge, because again, if you don't know, what do we mean by SkillBridge? The reason why it has to be transitioning service members, because, rules and regulations and laws from Department of Labor and DOD and whatnot, that the company will not be able to pay you, should not be able to pay you, because you're used to getting your military salary. Okay, you gotta do that. All right, awesome. Any quick questions in here before we're at the top of the hour? We want to be cognizant of everybody's time, so you guys can go enjoy this sunny Saturday weather, which is gonna drop off our code in here. Annabelle, if you can, please share that link for where people can apply for Coursera.
Yes,
And then,
sir.
and then, yeah, go ahead. And oh, by the way, Annabelle here is one of our awesome guys in here. He's retired Army and currently a GS in Germany. So if some of you guys, I know it's GS jobs are a bloodbath right now, but I'm assuming, in Germany and Europe, they're hiring over there too. So if you are interested in going back out there and just in time to taste some Glühwein toward the end of the year, connect with Annabelle. Okay, he's in logistics, acquisitions, and things like that, and their brigade is always hiring. Okay, and go
As
ahead.
we're getting ready for the Coursera and wrapping up, for those of you who are spending this weekend getting your resume on LinkedIn, I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of what you just dropped there. Let me show you here. So, Mr. O'Neill Blair, we're open to work. That picture needs to be improved, please. Here, just giving, and this is not calling out anybody. This is an example, right? I'm giving you all critique of how you could improve. If I look at this initially, human resource and logistics, okay, and then we go into government contracting to drive impactful situations. Now I have no idea really what job O'Neill is looking for, unless maybe I want to spend the time and go down here. Even as I read this, there's so much tell me what you're looking for. And that should be first and foremost in your in that headline there. It's great to see HR officer but then an EA. An EA is making what? Anywhere between $15 and $25. Your HR manager is making 55, 65 plus thousand. Project manager. So you're ping-ponging all over the place, which I understand you have a variety of skills like myself behind, but be hyper focused. What is it that you really want? What is the top 3 careers? And then, or ideally the top 1, and then come and make this so that when I see you, I understand you're looking for a human resource manager in the healthcare sector, or you're looking for a supply operations director in whatever field. So you don't want the people on this side of you trying to interpret, well, who is this person about? What are they about? You'll have a couple of us like, okay, let me give this folk a chance and see what I can offer them. But it's okay, government contracting, HR, executive assistant, it feels like you wanted to take anything. So be mindful of that. The picture tells 1,000 words. The other one you should be seeing here is H. Smith. Thanks for sharing your LinkedIn. But without a picture, I may be less inclined to engage with you. Not me, but just generally people speaking. Maybe because you have a few mutual connections, I would be inclined to connect, but we want to see a picture there. Make sure that there is a person behind the scenes, especially if you're looking for a job. Is this person credible? Is this person somebody I can see myself work with? Listen, bias is a real thing, but at the same time, we want to make sure that this is a real account because there's a lot of stuff happening that, you just don't want to put yourself out there and not get any type of response. The other thing, you can see my LinkedIn. I've already cleared my messages and stuff for the day. When you reach out and somebody doesn't answer, please don't be afraid to reach out multiple times. If I scroll, and I don't know why there's messages that I have been getting throughout. So your message may end up getting buried, not for me. Think about for Jay, Anwar, the Act Now team, but just everybody on a whole, mentors. Don't feel like, gosh, I haven't heard from them. Nobody likes me. Reach out. Send a voice note. Hey, you're just circling back. You got 2 minutes to answer this. Would be critical.
You have to pay her.
Uh-oh. Annabelle? So with that said, Career Compass is going to take about a week. Ashley J is on dial-up, so he will get to you. So please be a little bit patient with that. For anybody else, don't forget, if you need any information or so, reach out to us in the community or filter by the resources there. We will definitely help you where we can. The community has been great. For those first timers, your community, not just the Act Now team, but they're willing to help support and give you guidance. Please feel free to just, search for the results within or ask your question. And until then, I will see you next time and the next session. Anwar?
Awesome. Thank you so much. The last thing we're just gonna share right now is the code for this week. And basically, I think Annabelle already shared where you can get your Coursera account. Okay. It's with Veteran Transition Support, another organization that is actually doing that, also helping all these veterans and spouses to get it. And if you are interested into getting your Splunk training also, go ahead and do so. And he just shared the code for this week on what that you will utilize in gaining access to Career Compass. You start your application there for Career Compass. I'm gonna post it in there and just show you quickly how to get about it. You drop your email and all your information in there, and Jay and it will make sure that you will have your account soon enough. So if you were to go here, let me see my screen, please. 1 second. Again, you will start going back in here. You will start in, let me move this one out of the way. You will start on actnoweducation.org. You'll start on actnoweducation.org, get this one out of the way, and click here on Career Compass application. Career Compass. If you've been here today, if you've attended, you just click OK, and you will enter today's code. This helps validate that you have actually attended. All right, then you click Submit. And sometimes it might just cycle back here because right now we usually have about 10 people, 100 people trying to access it at the same time. So you might have to do it a couple of times. Refresh. All right. Put the code in here and hopefully it should let you. But if not, please just try it. Okay. We're still working, as always, into optimizing this website and our connections. So let me see here if maybe it might be better if I go on to private window. I'm gonna move in here, share my screen to this window, go in here, actnoweducation.org, click on Career Compass, accept all your cookies, click here to attend the weekly rundown, post the actual code, and click Submit. And this is the page you would see. We need you to please fill it out completely. All right. Are you authorized to work in the US? Put your first name, last name, states, and all this information. For the LinkedIn, post your entire LinkedIn, the linkedin.com/ and all that stuff. Okay. Not just, the end of it. Transition dates. Okay. Put in a transition date. If you're a military spouse, put a transition date for your service member, your spouse, actually, who's transitioning. If you are medically retired or retiring or going through an MEB or you're in the reserves or something like that, just put like when you potentially think you're getting out. Okay. And just fill out all this information in here. Okay. Branch of service and all of that stuff. Okay. If you type in your email, just also make sure, if it's going to ask for your email and it's going to send you, okay, it's going to send you in here basically, what shall I say, a verification code. Okay, you can check your spam, you can check everything else like that. Just make sure that your email is valid. You did not fat finger it. Please don't use a trash email. Please don't use one of those hide me service email, or something like that. Okay, it's all about we're not a fly by night operation. We're not collecting information to sell it to data brokers. We're not gonna spam you. So just use an email address that you actually will be checking, and that's going to be used to create your account on Career Flow in order for you to actually use that service once you get it. Okay. If you have a resume, please post your resume. If you don't have a resume, take this weekend and create some type of resume. Okay, it doesn't have to be the end all, be all, or the best of resumes, or the greatest resume ever, or something like that. You can start with something, and eventually, once you get access to the platform, you have the ability to build a resume also that you can start applying to jobs with. Okay, all of this information here, you have this fork. Okay, these are salary range. Be cognizant of what you want. Okay, and do you have the skills to command that type of resume as well? If you have your clearance that is still active, share that. Okay, and I know just a couple of questions here that we also always have. Hey, I'm working at the NSA as the top level director of cybersecurity and low level intensity warfare against our nation enemies. I cannot have a LinkedIn, so please accept me without it. All of us had clearances. All of us worked in some type of work. For God's sake, when I was retired from Korea, and we the second infantry division, the actual G2 and the G2 sergeant major were on LinkedIn and talk. You have generals right now on LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm not, as long as you know how to market yourself and what to put in there on that LinkedIn, feel free to share it. Oh, I did some work. I was at the NSA for 25 years, and I was a Green Beret haloing into places unknown. I don't know what to put in my resume. You can still talk about your job without talking about your job, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's a portion function. Please just use that. And like I said, with Jane here, he's going to be able to look over your resume once it gets back into the real world, into an actual 2025 style internet connection. Okay, and we're going to be able to create everybody's account, and everything is going to be okay. All right. Any questions? Let's have a couple questions here before we end this session. Hopefully this has been informative. Put a 3 in the chat for me if you enjoyed this session, if you heard or learned about something you did not know an hour ago. We appreciate your feedback. That keeps us going. All right. We know that we don't want to waste anybody's time. We aim to bring something informative to the community based on our experience, based on our passion, that we want to, to use an overutilized buzzword, to make sure that we create a military tribe for all of us here that served in this nation's military. We hung up the uniform, and now we're trying to create a civilian career for ourselves and our loved ones. Jesse, you have a question?
Oh, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Before I have already registered for Career Campus, but when I log in, it's always direct to Career Flow dashboard. So do I need to register again?
No. So if you have access, so basically Career Compass is our pet name for it. It's our marketing name. The website is careerflow.ai. That's the company that graciously provided free access to the veteran community, to the military spouses and everything like this, to have an access on it for you to be able to leverage some of the resources like creating a resume, applying for jobs, and getting so a couple of other goodies in there, job tracker and things like that for you. Okay, and once you get access to it, if you have access to it, there's like a tab for resources. That's ours. Okay, so we put all the resources in there. If you get access to it, all the resources, like where to find some scholarships, companies that are providing certain IT and cyber certifications, job boards, scholarship. Did I say scholarship? Yeah, internships and everything else. Okay, so if it says career flow, yes, you should be good to go in there, as long as you also have the actual ability to create your resume and see the resources for Act Now in there.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
All right. And yes, be solid. The process is a little bit chaotic. Again, we are just a small group of volunteers doing this with the resources we have on hand. We're not hiring our heroes. We're not anybody else. If you want white glove treatment, I'm not, you can work with them, or we aim to do a good job with the resources at hand. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Awesome. So, anybody else? Any other questions? Christopher Farmer, it does not look like a farm behind you, man. Okay. Okay. How are you? Was it a good session for you, man?
Yeah, it was great. I learned a lot. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to share all this great info with us.
Welcome. Anything else we can help you with?
Not really. I'll probably dial in again, and I'll definitely be sharing it with my wife. I'm still about 11 months from getting out, so I'm trying to get ahead of stuff, but I'm definitely going to get started with everything you guys have shared.
Awesome. You're in that sweet spot, man. Good that you're actually doing it ahead of time. All right. We had a guy who was trying to retire, and basically a month out, he was so not ready that he actually had a literal panic attack in the office. And basically the next day he was talking to the career counselor, and he re-enlisted for 4 more years.
Wow.
Because he just was not ready. So again, you hear some of these horror stories, but also on the other hand, you have a lot of success stories. Mr. Margrave, how can I help you? Do you have a question?
Well, not a question, but more of a statement. Those people that are out there, make sure you put your LinkedIn account. I put it in the chat, the URL that's for your public profile URL for LinkedIn, not anything that says LinkedIn feed or something that throws Jay behind on things. And also just the FYI for those, your LinkedIn account, if it comes up with a long string of numbers and stuff like that, go change it so it's easier to read and for you to type. Mine's really easy. Mine's linkedin.com/n/Margrave. That's my last name. So it's easy for me to type real quick. Make it easy for you guys and gals to type it so that you can type it if you're ever in a meeting or something like that. Don't have it where you have to go look it up. Use it that way. It also helps Jay when you're submitting this information to him, because if it's not typed in right, he's dealing with it right now. So, and it's all public. So, and maybe in the future, I'll give some of my insights on the Career Compass. I'm currently looking for a position, and Career Compass is definitely helping me write resumes, helping me find some jobs. I do have some extra techniques that I use on the side. Won't say it's going to guarantee you get you a job, but every little bit of helps out. I mean, it's like, I'm not a baker, but, when you bake, you have to put some salt in, even though, a little bit, not a lot. I had a cook in the Navy that wasn't tasting his work, and he mixed up the sugar and the salt on pancakes and served the crew a whole bunch of salt pancakes. So you got to know how much you're going to put in on what you're going to put in. Don't put in too much, just the right amount, and don't worry about it. That's all, Anwar.
Awesome, Tom. Thank you very much. Marvin Creech, you have any question? Oh my God, I got called on. Let me find the unmute button.
Well, that's what every freaking meeting is that way. No, I just thank you. I appreciate it. I'm really curious. So I live here in Northern Virginia where all the freaking data centers seem to be booming out past Centerville. Is there any other than SkillBridge? Because I'm not eligible for SkillBridge. I'm already old and retired.
Right now, that's the only opportunity we have for this type of data center thing we have. Okay, with Jay. Okay, that he negotiated to be able to provide this training and certifications and whatnot. Okay, like maybe try with Hire Heroes or Tech Systems or something like that, depending on what your background is.
Yeah, the training certs I've got. So I already have my Sec Plus, Network Plus, A Plus, and a couple of the others. That's the training certs I want. Is more of getting job resumes in those pockets for those. That's the thing I'm looking to try to figure out how to crack the nut on.
Now I understand you. Maybe talk
Marvin,
to Tech Systems.
send me your resume. Marvin,
Jay,
send me your resume. Send it to my LinkedIn.
Will do. Thank you, Jay.
Awesome. All right. And then somebody in there too, Elvis, appreciate you reaching out, send it to Elvis too as well. All right. You never know. All right. Well, I appreciate you folks for being here, and hopefully we get to see you next Saturday again. Something else might be shared, something may be available. Who knows? I mean, we always try to come up with something or just rediscuss some of the same thing to reach out another slice of the veteran community.
Thank you for tuning in to the Act Now Education Podcast. If this episode helped you, share it with someone who needs it. And visit actnoweducation.org for free resources and career tools. Until next time, educate, empower, achieve.